going on, Jerome's? So compensatory picks are certainly interesting for the Minnesota Fighting Vikings, and with the Vikes through various trades in the draft, potentially. Ideally supplementing and maybe even banking on racking up and stacking up a couple of comp picks, it does make sense, right? And compensatory pick basics, basically expiring contracts are the only ones that matter. And if you lose more free agents than you sign, you could be in line for some compensatory picks on the back end of the 3rd through 7th rounds. And the Vikings, after losing Kirk Cousins on an expiring contract to the Falcons and Danielle Hunter on an expiring contract to the Texans, the Vikings, even though they were hard in the paint on free agents, Aaron Jones doesn't count because he was cut, but Cashman, Van Ginkel, Grenard, etc. You think that the Vikings could potentially still be in line for some comp pick love. And then it came out this week that, the Vikings effed this up because they signed Shaq Griffin to a 1-year, $4.55 million deal. And Nick Corte over at Over the Cap. So they do a very good job at projecting what's going to go on with the compensatory picks. Now, it's a proprietary formula. The league keeps it under wraps, but Over the Cap does a very good job at reverse engineering it and basically trying to figure out what goes on. So not only does money matter, snap counts, accolades, all that stuff goes into this too, right? All the talk this week is that the Vikings lost on potentially a 3rd-round pick with Danielle Hunter because of the signing of Shaq Griffin. And of course, this is really just more an exercise of the national media Jerome haircuts just being ridiculous yet again. So this is what Over the Cap has, and the signing of Shaq Griffin basically canceling out some picks, and the Vikings lose that 3rd rounder, which the Vikings beforehand on their charts were getting 2/3, one for Kurt and also one for Danielle Hunter. And Corte went on a long diatribe to explain what went on with Shaq Griffin, and of course everyone's question is like, hey Kwesi, hey, why did you lose a 3rd-round pick because of Shaq Griffin? Because he couldn't wait? All that stuff. Of course, everyone's taking shots at the Vikings. Seth Walder, ESPN. Oh, wow, this is a really bad job by the Vikings. Please. But Ben Gessling Star Tribune, long story longer. Not so fast, my friend. So on the Vikings comp pick situation, I'm told the team was always expecting one and only one, 3rd-round pick next year from losing Kirk Cousins. The Vikings figured Jonathan Grenard's deal would cancel out Danielle Hunter's contract. They never expected 2/3. So the whole talk of, the Vikings had 2/3, except then they signed Shaq Griffin to a 1-year minimal deal, and then canceled out the extra 1/3. The entire narrative didn't sit right with me. Like, it didn't smell right, because this is literally spreadsheet work. Do you think that Kwesi adofo-mensah is going to screw up something on a spreadsheet? Nah. So that really didn't hold any water for me. And to continue, as I understand, the Shaq Griffin signing on March 19th came after the Vikings had already estimated that they get only 1, not 2 3rd-rounders next year. They determined he would cost them a 2nd, 3rd because they never expected to have one in the first place. If Griffin plays enough, it's possible he'd factor into the calculations for a later round comp pick, but the Vikings projections had already ruled out the possibility of a 2nd, 3rd before they signed Griffin. So the whole thing about it too is like the formula, it's under wraps, proprietary, only the league knows what's up, and also they make periodic changes to the formula. So maybe the Vikings are privy to changes in the formula that the public and Over the Cap is not, right? So, and also, what's most frustrating about this is that everyone is dancing on Kwesi's grave here, just like, see, the Vikings just effed up again, blah, 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 all that stuff. But we're not even going to know until next March, when they disperse comp picks, and everyone will forget about it, but everyone's going to run with the narratives like, the Vikings screwed up again. They lost the 3rd-round pick because they signed Shaq Griffin, blah, 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 blah. Nah, it's ridiculous, man. But, again, I trust Kwesi with stuff like this because, again, this is literally just math. And I do trust Kwesi. So I think at the end of the day, the Vikings will have their 1/3 with Kirk Cousins, and it's going to help supplement them being bereft of draft picks next year because of various trades. But Kwesi did not give up the future first, by the way. So it's no big deal. But of course, any excuse for the national media jabroni haircuts to take a swipe at the Vikings and Kwesi, but it's okay. Everything's going to be all right. Rockabye. But your thoughts are thoughts. Apparently, allegedly, the Vikings did not lose the 3rd-round comp pick because of signing Shaq freaking Griffin. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.